Hello, making a Play-Doh video. I use a cardboard box and I flatten the Play-Doh and I mold the Play-Doh all around the cardboard box. That creates more surface area for the sculpture. It makes the sculptures bigger. It's really awesome. It's a lot of fun to do this. Listening to Judy Krishnamurti and Dr. David Bohm. Smells good. Smells very, very good. When I was a child, I played with Play-Doh, and the smell brings up all the memories of us kids playing together. So I wonder if I can get this all around this. I wonder if I can get this all around. I should have probably put something in the box. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do from now on. I'm gonna put stuff in it. Let's see what I can put in. Put something in that. This here. Okay. This one. Okay, that gives it more stability. Okay, that's good. This is good. Okay, this is good. That gives it more stability. So, yeah, this is good. Because otherwise a hollow box will just cave in, and so if you put something in it, stuff something in it, then it won't cave in so badly. So this is kind of cute and pretty in all of this. You can actually, if you use two colors like this, it kind of looks nice. But I am going to paint it after it's dried. Maybe I'll show that process too. It's very good to make something, to create something. And it's also fun just to play with, just to be knitting for the fun of knitting. So, and just feeling these different materials. That's a good thing. That's very healing. It's very, very good to do for the nerves and the whole body. I did it. I wrapped the entire box with this material now. This is awesome. And I love the way it's textured like this. Love it. Mm. Oh, I love the smell. It's very good to make something like this because it it puts us into a flow of now where we are no longer focusing in that moment, at least no longer focusing on our own images and the field of reality that they're talking about, but we're focusing on something that we are part of, but where the I is not, doesn't have this importance. The I doesn't have that importance at all. That's why Jonathan Mises said art must rule the world. That's what this is all about. And it's the same thing that Jiddu Krishnamurti is talking about with David Bohm. The self has to be dissolved. The ego. Jiddu Krishnamurti, he calls it the ego. Like egg. Ego. is really nice. It's a wonderful now moment to be making something like this. And it doesn't matter what, we need to really dissolve this. What do other people think of me? How are they gonna laugh about me? That all needs to be dissolved. Can you imagine if everyone dissolved that? We would not have wars anymore in the world. There wouldn't be, the CEOs of Lockheed Martin, they wouldn't need to have excess amount of money, leverage, and power, political, whatever. They wouldn't need it because they wouldn't need to have to impress a woman or whatever, or impress the other people. I guess these people that are really wealthy, they keep perpetuating it by worrying about what the other is accomplishing. And then they have to keep up with that, and then they have to prove to the other that he can do it better or whatever. He can have a better yacht or a bigger yacht. I've seen all of this on the internet. It's shocking. It's really shocking what the ego does to people. I mean, it can take on monstrous forms, much worse even than what I just mentioned. Don't even want to talk about this. I don't want to get into the details of. Then I will start crying again. People need to they need to become aware about this whole thing. This competition drive and all of this. Art is not about competition. This thing here does not care if someone else makes a better sculpture. It lives completely for itself. It's self-contained in its joy of becoming. There doesn't need to be anything made more gloriously or more. People have this idea of making art that's supposed to look real or something, like something real out of the field of reality. That's another misconception. Why not create something that is better than we have in our field of reality? This could be an animal. It could be like I made my other video. I talked about that too. The other form that I made. This too can be better. Could live for its own happiness. It can live on a planet and sucks up nutrients from the bottom. There are actually sea animals like this, similar to this. There's all kinds of sea animals that resemble modern art. Amazing existences out there. Amorphous type of existences. Gelatinous type of existence. I think this is very awesome. This is very awesome. You know, kids, they often get these cookie cutters. Literally, they literally get cookie cutters that come with this type of clay material. And I think that is actually these cookie cutters. They're it's just another form of social dictation. It's like we live our entire lives in these cookie cutters, you know. It's like very symbolic. The kids, they get cookie cutter templates, you know, they even get templates for creating, and they call it art. For example, on this tablet, it's like color the animals. But the kids, they can create their own shapes. They don't need to fill out an existing Hollywood type of shape that is given to them. I find that, to me, this is like imprisonment. You know? People need to be given a blank slate, or, you know, they can be given all kinds of things like packaging materials, and then you say, now make something with this and have fun. Really enjoy the process of it. And it doesn't have to look like anything. It doesn't have to look like Disney or a fairy or whatever, you know, or anything that we know from movies or cartoon films or whatever is popular or whatever people think they need to aspire to. They're being told that. But in the field of truth, this year is truth. It's truth. It's art. It has its own purpose. It doesn't need to serve anyone's purpose. It doesn't need to be in the field of competitiveness, competition. Always competing. People are always competing. That's the field of reality. That's the field of measurement. We need to dissolve that. We need to become one with art. Become one with that. And enjoy. Enjoy the luxury of this. It's a wonderful thing to do this. It's really good. I'm so glad I made this. Children, when they're not given any of these templates, they completely lose themselves in such activities. And they are much more in tune still. So they need this really desperately. And we need it. We need to come back to art. We need to come back to all of this. Come back to being a child. Friedrich Nietzsche has these 3 stages of growth. You start out being a camel, you know. You're being a load-bearing camel. You carry the load of society, of the templates that are given to you. The mind imprisonment of society, the imprisonment of okay, this is pretty and this is not. You're not given your own choices, you know. You have your mind makes up its own preferences for things. But society does not allow that to anyone, to have their own preferences for things. But that's what we need to come back to, you know, to this, to losing yourself in creating your own shapes that please you, your senses, and completely let go of what someone else says or thinks or interprets into it or projects onto it or onto you. Completely let go of it. Let them do it. Mm. And be you. And you're not being punished for it anymore. Times are changing now. You see, it's changing right before our eyes. The artificial intelligence is now being implemented to delete hostile comments. We're getting there now. Okay, we're getting there. So the entire planet is beginning to get a breather. Then the planet says, thank you. I need to breathe. And this gives the hater type of people. Those are the people who suffer the most, believe it or not. They suffer the most. That's why I have great compassion for these people. Deep compassion. They hate themselves. They're jealous. They feel ignored. They feel entitled. They complain about the government. Complain about. And it's not a judgment from my side here. Not at all. It's just an observation. They suffer. They're load-bearing camels, according to Friedrich Nietzsche. They bear the burden of Hollywood and of the things they are told that they want. And there's pain and suffering and agony behind it. It's not, they don't just want the glittering diamond because they're lost in that glow of it. They want the glittering diamond to impress a woman. That's a completely different story. And that is the sadness of it. That is where the child is no longer allowed to have anything, the inner child. You can, the same items sometimes can be used for ego or for being lost in it in a good way. Diamonds, jewelry, for example, gemstones that are healing. And what do people make out of this? They make impressing women out of it. They make all kinds of ridiculous, masochistic stuff out of it. And it's not love, and it's not, has nothing to do with love. It has to do with domination and who has more money, bragging, impressing, peacocking, and all of this. And this here is equally nice or better than a diamond ring. Then this piece here could one day become very famous. could be one day, I'm just joking, but it could. But who knows? One day it could be worth $4 million once it's finished. Once I've painted it somewhere at Sotheby's, Christie's, auction off, and then the very thing that was speaking to you made this video and said become lost in art, and this very thing is being hijacked and used. It's most likely going to happen and used. And I mean, I'm not saying that this particular thing is going to become famous, but if it did, I'm just saying conjunctively, if it did, then it would be hijacked into something else. It would be hijacked into using it like the diamond or like anything else, that people brag with. Look at what's happening to a lot of modern art paintings and a lot of modern artists that are, and there are modern artists that are actually making stuff that doesn't even come from the mindset of art. Those people exist too, and then they're often very loud with their they have a very loud ego, like, look at me, I want to be sold for billions of dollars. I'm not going to name any names, but attention seeking type of artists. And it's funny that those are also the ones that are then auctioned off for a lot of money. Then it becomes some kind of almost like a mafia type of business, like a money laundering type of thing. Then it becomes a peacocking means, a bragging means. You know how that all works, with humans. So the load-bearing camel that most people are, the stagnator, the people who worship someone and who don't question anything. They don't question Hollywood, they don't question religion, they don't question their jobs, they don't question their governments. Those people, they will bully someone they think is below them, and they will look up to someone they think is above them. It's always this hierarchical way of thinking. And so Friedrich Nietzsche says that we need to dissolve that state. Okay? And the first step is to become a lion. I'm a lion now, no longer a camel. I haven't changed any shape, but I still look the same. But now I'm a lion. And I say, hey, government, hello, Lockheed Martin, OCD, CEO, so OCD. I question you all. I question you, and I am standing up for myself. See, when I make artwork, I can't. It's funny how it does something to my brain when I'm making artwork, where I'm not focused on the field of reality, and then I mix up the words. It's very interesting. Sometimes in a very strange way, like almost Freudian slip type of way. So then there's the state of being a lion that questions things. It's all good. But that's an angry state. It's an important stage. But after that stage, we need to dissolve that angry stage as well. And we need to become the child. the lion becomes the child. And the child says, I'm not angry anymore, you know. I have questioned, now I'm a child. Now I can allow myself to be that child again that I once were. Before they hurt me, before they pushed all their social norms and social requests onto me, before they measured me, compared me with other people. Now I know I can be child. I don't need to be compared with anyone. I can be me. You know? So those are the three stages by Friedrich Nietzsche. The camel becomes the lion. That's a very important stepping process. And the lion finally can become the child again. Very important to become that child again, be in that flow, and forget about what society demands from all of us, or how we, forget about this comparing yourself to other people. Stop watching these soap opera type of things, these reality shows that only compare people with each other. Constant comparison going on. Who has the bigger whatever? This is really sick. This leads to an incredible amount of mental illness and act outs that are completely devoid of love and of recognizing the needs of someone else. It is a beautiful thing to come to one's senses and say, yes, I am jealous. I'm green of jealousy. You can see this here. Green of jealousy. This is actually a turquoise. This is actually turquoise is actually a very metaphysical color. So, and it's a beautiful thing when that happens, when you can say, oh, I'm jealous. My goodness, that's why I said that. That's why I thought that thought. That's why I didn't recognize her or him or whatever. That's why I was. And then out of jealousy, all kinds of stubbornness can evolve. All kinds of act outs, and people don't even know why they're doing it. And they're hurting other people, and in the process, they don't even realize they are. We cannot expect from other people we can't expect other people to do anything. This is just food for thought to help anyone who watches this. I'm not expecting anything from anyone. I can't expect anything from anyone. I couldn't expect anything from anyone if I sat on the street with a hat in front of me, a cylinder hat in front of me, bumming for pennies and dollars. I could not expect anything from anyone. But I'm not gonna say to people, oh, you are cool, when they're walking by and they ignore me or whatever. I'm not gonna say that either. That's another act out. I see these bums saying, God bless you, even if you ignored them, walked by them or whatever. I see them doing that. That's another means of making people feel guilty. I just say Hare Krishna. I say Hare Krishna to the bum, and I walk on. It depends. If it's a very angry, entitled bum, I continue walking. If it's someone with a dog or someone who is crying, I go over and I say what's going on. I give them a granola bar. That's what I do. So some of those bums, they make a lot of money. They get SSI, they get all kinds of governmental help. Then they go to the street corner and bum. So that's why I don't give all of them something. So I trust my inner gut instinct with that. I used to give bums money, don't do that anymore. So some of them have more money than I have. No, it's better to give them something to eat, something to drink. Give them a granola bar or protein bar, something like this. Give them water. Give bums water. That's what they need. Give the dogs water. Homeless dogs, they need water. And I give homeless dogs blankets and old jackets. So, and I encourage other people to do the same. If you see a homeless dog, particularly in a cold region, give them an old jacket and tell the person, this is for your dog. Put that over your dog while you're sitting there. So that's important to do, very important. Some of them use dogs to make people feel sorry for them. That's really terrible. That's very abusive of the people, of the homeless people. Not all homeless people are the same. Some are very nice. Some are assholes. It's just like, that's just a fact of humanity. Humanity. Humanity is asshole. That's what it is. He got his humanity back. You got your asshole back. Okay. Yeah, well, yeah. That's why it is so important to come to our senses and dissolve that terrible self-image making and the ego and all of that, and become one again with nature, with the animals, with the blue sky, with the sun. Okay, so it's finished. It's finished. My goodness. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Take care. Bye bye.